Alright everybody, yeah, it's been a little bit of a video delay and everything. Both jobs, this and that and everything, just kind of hard to get caught up on doing videos and having time to work with it with the holidays. Was going to start on it yesterday, day before, but then I got a deal on some cylinder heads that was originally for a backup for that, the green truck as you see back there. And I ended up trading with my buddy and had to go to the storage unit today to get not one, but two 350s. The one that blew up NES 10 and a backup for it. On the way home, then the tensioner exploded on the Ford. Yeah, well, as the old saying is, what is it? It ain't redneck if it works. Yeah, let's just say that was a little interesting on the ride home. Anyways, all that's taken care of. And waiting on parts, this and that, so you know how that shit goes. And anyways, right here we are actually on the Firebird. As you can see here, last time you seen it, the motor was ready to go in and everything. It was in it. Ironically enough, the engine fell before I got it right through here. It fell, then the oil pan, this and that, and I was able to get in there, get started up. Yes, I did have a video of it. However, the SIM card was full. I did not know it at the time, so all that went down the drain. So all this right here is a fresh start. So you can see now, I just got enough time to work on it a little bit before I go swap out trucks and get this and that and everything. But motor mounts are in. As you can see, the water pump and everything is going to be closed. However, it looks like there's room for a carburetor. There is not with the hood. I'll show you guys that eventually, but right now I just like to get the transmission and everything back bolted in to where I can actually start making progress on this thing again. Thankfully enough, the mini tripod, however, tomato, long day. Shown up, fix them, try it out to where I can try to get like a little bit of a time-lapse video on this and that. Whether it works or not, I don't know. So, you know, bear with me here and there. And Jake's been getting on to me about not trying to get this done. However, he knows the whole issue of trying to do two jobs and everything. So he went ahead and picked up another motor that he couldn't pass up on. And ironically enough, I'm going to try to get a video when I go over there to Dale's to actually pick up the correct motor I've been wanting to do for this vehicle for a while. That doesn't mean all this is for nothing with the LT. This is going to run in it. It's going to be a mean little street car. However, it's hard to pass up a mildly built 406. So yeah, we're going to see how well that goes and everything. And it has been sitting out here and there, but I know Dale, he's a man of his word. We went to school together. I helped him dirt track race and everything else. So, you know, I don't have no reason to doubt him. As he told me, he said it is going to be a core. But 11 and a quarter 1 domes out of a 400, whether it's 30, 40, or 60 over, I don't know. Well, I'll find out pretty soon on that. So right now, just bear with me on getting all this shit set up for, you know, a little bit of a time-lapse video. Whether it works or not, we'll find out. Just so everybody knows, this carburetor right here will have to come back off for a decent rebuild. Right now, it's just mainly to keep it somewhat dry and everything, because we do have a little bit of weather coming in. And granted, I would like to have this thing somewhat sealed up. However, past few days after all that happened, it has been covered up in the tarp, which, as many of you know, that still doesn't protect them very well. But hey, anything better than nothing the way I look at it right now. I know there's going to be one or two people asking, well, what are you going to do for a fuel system? For now, I'm pretty much just going to run a Holly Red back there beside the tank. Good enough to get everything situated and make sure the thing runs pretty good, which everybody's going to be like, well, that's not a big enough fuel pump, or that's not a big enough carburetor or anything. Everybody's entitled to their own opinions. When this thing was a 638 or 880 short block, it had the 487 heads, Comp XE 284, 5.7, 5.10 lift. It was, I'm wanting to say where they was shaded about 25. I think it was a total of 9-1, maybe 9-1. It was under a 9-2-1. It had these mid-length, 1 5/8 headers, as everybody knows on these third gens is notorious for trying to get a good exhaust on them. It had the same carburetor, except it was 1850, bone stock jetting, 66, nothing done on the rear. That thing would surprise you for a mild cam and a tiny set of heads. And then I found out the whole oiling and smoking and everything wasn't the rings or anything, it was the worn valve guides. And talked to my buddy. He said, here, go ahead and run these for now till you get something figured out. Set a Dart Pro 215 angle plug iron heads, not aluminum but iron. Put them on here. That picked up probably 65, 70 horsepower, and I want to say it was a 72 or a 70 cc chamber. They was not a 64. They was, in the 70s. And the only thing I had then was a factory pump with the A1000 regulator, which is on the S10, and everybody sees that thing is capable of a mid 6-second run on the fuel system. I've run a Holly Red on a regular carburetor, never an issue. On this one, I don't see being an issue just because it's 10-1 and it's a factory cam for now. As I said, all this is temporary. I just want to make sure the thing's running, driving before I put a good cam in it. My buddy LJ is wanting to port these heads. However, he would prefer an aluminum set, and as I told him right now, I want to get it running. If I come across some that is an arm and a leg, which, they only made them for 5 years, even iron and aluminum. But I'm not in a hurry. I just want to see how this goes, and if all plans out pretty good this afternoon on the 406 and the other 2 blocks I'm getting with it, I think this is going to be a good motor for this year. I don't know what the plan is yet on them. I don't even know what the plan is on the 327. I just want to have a good backup idea going here and there. Anyways, enough me jabbering. I know everybody's probably tired of it. The way I look at it, it's going to be a good little street car. It does not have to break the bank, which is what I've been trying to get everybody to understand for probably the past year and a half on whole build with the S10. because I know there's going to be a few people asking. No, you don't have to cover this up. You can. As you remember, the LT does not run water through the intake. I'm not spending $510, I think is what they're advertised, after shipping, Jegs, eBay, Summit, many more websites, even Chevy Performance website. I can't remember them all. Every bit of $550, which, I mean, yeah, if you want to spend the money, go for it. I'm not telling nobody otherwise. Me, no. If I wanted to, yeah. But then again, I'm just trying to show everybody you don't need an arm and a leg to have something to enjoy. I mean, I've got a total of 3,400 in the turbo build, around 850 to 1,100 in the transmission. The rear end, I actually had it wrote down, I think a total of 550. And there's going to be a few more things here and there. Like when I originally done the truck, it did not have the MSD Bluetooth ignition. That was added on later last year. That was another $585. If you can afford it, yeah. If you can't, one piece at a time, people. I mean, look at this. I've had this going on 10 years, 11 years now, and this is the 8th motor. Yeah, the 8th motor, the 7th small block. It had the original LS swap that I took out of the two-wheel drive 1500. It was bone stock 4.8, and that motherfucker would run. As a matter of fact, the internals and everything on the S10 transmission is the one that was in here. That case that was in here is the one that busted. I have it put up. That's something I'll probably never get rid of. And I mean, everybody is going to doubt here and there for a 700, a 60E, 400, 80, however you want to look at it. Me, I like a turbo 350. They're simple, they're cheap if you can find them, because they are starting to get a little more hard to find. But if you got the money for a 400, go for it. I'd love to have a good 400, but if you find them, they're going to need rebuilt, because everybody has beat the shit out of them. Same thing on the 350, but they're easier to come by because everybody, you know, beats them up, and then they want a 400. So they're pretty much giving them away. A 60 80E, yeah. If you want, you know, good street manners and everything, you're on a budget, a 700 or a 60E. I mean, that's what's behind this. It's a 94, same year as this motor. No, it's not from the same vehicle. I think I looked up the codes on the converter. It's 1600, a little under 1700 stall, which bone stock ain't gonna hurt. Now, like I said, eventually this is gonna get a good cam and everything. Yeah, that's gonna be pushing it. That's when I might have to look in for like a 24 or 2800 stall. If this motor stays in, I'll get a decent converter for this. I don't know about a Corvette servo. I really haven't looked into them on this particular setup. I just want to get it running. However, if it's going to be the 406 going in here eventually, I'm not going to chance a bone stock 144,000 mile 60E on it, because I mean, for my envision and plan and everything, if it goes in here that 400 should be around 485 to 550 roughly. I don't think it'll be turboed. I like to keep it somewhat all motor. However, as you see with this oil pan now, this one does have the turbo drain. I'm saying that's going to be the plan, but at least now I know it's there. If I want to, I can. If I don't, I don't. It's already capped off. No big deal. I think I'm going to call today and go inside, get cleaned up, pull the Triton up here, unload these 2 motors, and head on over there to do this and that. Someone's a disappointment. But 30 over. Don't know the brand. Roughly 125 thou stone. ARP bolts and everything, and I think it scared little old 408 man here.
I'm talking about.
What? I mean, I'm just stating the facts.
Get some.
Dude, I mean,
get some footage of where
they've seen what it looks like. I mean,
show the bores, show the valve.
I'm not gonna say it's the best thing I've ever brought to Mr. Chevy Hater here, but it's a 70 to 71 truck, and I guess we're gonna call it mud pit because there's about 10 pounds of mud in it after I brought it back to the car wash. The sad part is, pistons actually look pretty damn good other than oil rings stuck. But, never fear, I'm willing to try. Stay tuned, let's see how long we can go before me and him getting in a fight over it.